Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going today? We should be live across both platforms. Let me just double check, make sure that we have everything rocking and a rolling. And we're good. Looks like we have, what, about four or five people over on YouTube, and Twitch is just figuring that out, so that's good. Glad you're all here today. We have a very special guest. We are going to highlight the Northern Timber mod and more today, actually. So with me is Shupa, and why don't you say hello to everybody, Shupa? Fantastic. So, um, I hate the rain. We're going to take care of this rain real quick. See if we can get the weather to uh, work with us here. And chat, go ahead and start with your questions if you got any. Also, let me know if all the volume levels are good and that you guys can hear us properly. We're just going to hang out for another minute or so, let people kind of trickle in, make sure everybody is here. Uh-oh. Let me see what's going on. There it is. Let's try that again.
Test, test.
There you go. All right. So I have Shupa here, and he did say hello to everybody. Go ahead and say hello to everybody again.
Hello, everybody, again. Thanks for coming out.
That's my fail. Sorry there, chat. Nothing on his end. That was on my end. All right. We got rid of the weather there, and we got stuff coming in the chat. So, Ralph, sorry off topic. Have fun playing Green Hell. Good. Glad you're enjoying it, buddy. Awesome. Alrin Storm is in the house. Shupa, woohoo! Uh,
Aaron.
Hell Overlord Xenu. Shupa.
I know High Overlord Xeno plays on my server.
Awesome. All right. And then it looks like your lady is here too. And I can't pronounce that. I'm going to butcher it.
That should be insane.
There you go. All right. That's not the way that I would have pronounced it. So I'm glad. I'm glad you did it.
Einstein? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Awesome. Uh, you could butcher it like insane. It's okay. Okay, so Bourbon, hello, welcome to the chat. 18 people on YouTube and 4 on Twitch. Let's go ahead and give you guys some view of what we've got going on here. Take us out of that chat screen, get a full view. So I'm thinking, I actually don't even want to start in here. I'm gonna give you guys just this quick little peek of what's going on in there, and then I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna go right over here. We're gonna start right over here with this tent and this post, and we're gonna work our way that direction. And then for those of you that are here, I got another build somewhere else that you're not gonna be able to see until a little bit later on. So let's start with this post right here, and why don't you tell me what's going on with that?
Sure. So this is an item from Shuri Treasures. It is a caravan stop marker post. On my server, rather than using the map rooms, we have set up a series of caravan masters and caravan stops that allow people to fast travel across the map. So by placing this post on the map, it shows a marker that everyone can see.
Awesome. And as you can see, chat, I've got a boat dock down, I've got a map marker, and then we are standing at the caravan marker as well, or the caravan stop. And I thought it needed a tent, right? If it's a caravan stop and people are getting on and off, they probably need to come in here and get out of the sun and
Exactly.
relax maybe a little bit.
Actually, exactly what we do on server. Gets them out of the sun. In the colder areas, we actually have a fireplace under the flat, so folks can get warm if they need to.
Yeah, exactly. Fabulous. And this is one of the items from which mod? This Relic Hunter tent.
The Relic Hunter tent is from Ashuri Treasures,
Awesome.
which is my server-specific mod, although anyone's welcome to use it.
And we're looking at 4 mods today, chat. We are looking at Northern Timber, Ashuri Treasures, Arena Pyres
Here.
or Piers, and then one other one unnamed one. We'll tell you when we get to it. Right? Right? Okay. All right. So, as you guys can see, this is just a black ice gate right here. It is very low and hard to hear. I'm gonna have to turn you way up. Let's get you turned way up. Okay, chat. You guys let me know if you can hear him better now.
Is that better?
Looks like it's gonna be better. Okay. You let us know, Death Cult Gaming, let me know if it's still low, okay, buddy? So this is just a black ice gate here. This is not in the mod. This is just a vanilla piece. I just wanted to show you the size difference. So, kind of get an idea of how big that is. And then we're gonna come over here to these items, and I kind of want you to explain your thinking behind these items here.
Yep, sure. So each of these gates are 2x2 as compared to a standard gate, which is actually 3x4 tiles in size. Many people I've often heard complaining about how big the gates are in game. They require massive buildings and lots of space just to have the gate. And ultimately, I agreed with them. So as I began building out the Arena Pier mod and looking for ideas for unusual or different pieces, build pieces to create, this seemed like a natural solution, right? To create a smaller 2x2 gate. Looks like a gate, is sturdy like a gate, but is much more compact.
Now, is the hit point damage is not the same, is it? Is it the same?
I believe it is.
Let's look here, chat. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it's the same. There you go, chat. Exactly the same, much smaller. I mean, a lot smaller, really. Just look at, I mean, it's kind of crazy because you say it's like 3x4, right?
The standard is 3x4.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, this is like half the size, guys, and every style. Like that is sweet. I really like those. And you can see, got some other options for doors. I tried to use every single gate door that you had. I think I covered them all. We'll have to see, but there are, I mean, right there alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. 6th option right here in front of us. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of customization available in just gate doors in and of itself, let alone everything else that we're going to get into. All right, so let's move on. It looks like your volume is good now, so that's a good thing. Before we go inside, chat. Yeah. Look at this. Like, how amazing is that right there? These right here. Talk to me about those particular pieces. Those are fences, right?
They are fences. Actually, ironically, what you're showing right here is an unintended consequence. I had one of the mods on my server long ago, when I was just beginning to mod, complained that when he was building defensive walls with anti-climb fences on top, he often built in mountainous areas. And so, your wall pieces would kind of have to rack, right, as you climbed up a mountain slope, right? They would step upwards, and a determined raider who was very small in scale could potentially, if they're very careful, squeeze between the bottom of a higher fence piece and the top of the lower fence piece, and therefore get in. So he asked me if I could make a sloped or some kind of solution, right, to slope a fence piece. And at the time I could not, but eventually, as I continued to mod and learn more, I decided to solve that problem. Figured out how to solve that problem. It turned out that the angle is perfect to also go along with stairs and look really nice as handrails.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to tell you this, and most people don't know this because I don't think I share a whole lot about my character with the community, but I always make myself the shortest I can. And initially I just did that because I didn't want to be running around with a super tall character. But as I played the game, I find that I can get into areas where my taller counterparts or clanmates actually can't get to. So size does matter, and obviously you've come up with a nifty way and a very beautiful way. I love the way these are done of solving a problem. Honestly, I thought you just designed it because we needed like workable handrails.
Yeah. Well, they actually, I mean, they are anti-climb. So if you have that up and you're climbing a wall, you will take damage and you'll fall from it.
That's fabulous. I didn't know that. I built this all in God mode. I did not test any of this as far as anti-climb or anything like that. So thank you for pointing that out. Real quick, I got to give a shout out to Ranger Green over there on Twitch for the 1,000 bits. Thank you so much, buddy. And the 2 gift subscriptions, 1 to Insane and 1 to Death Cult Gaming. Thank you very much. You are super duper generous. And Shupa is a shameful Warcraft orc with those railings.
My original foray into MMO type gaming was in World of Warcraft, like many of us. Always played the Horde forever.
Okay.
And a something we always talked about in the Horde is that no matter where you went in Orgrimmar, there was no such thing as a guardrail or handrail. If you fell off a cliff edge and died, that's your problem.
Right.
So shame on me for having, handrails.
For fixing it. Oh, that's funny. Green Ranger also says, I use this amazing mod in 98% of my builds, the first mod I ever used.
Thank you very much. I've been watching your the images you post on my Discord and others. Love your builds.
That's fabulous. All right. So, I don't want to go too far. I want to just start right here with these stairs, and these are beautiful, by the way. I had a little bit of, a little bit of just mind fart on how to use them. I ended up, I placed them on wedges. I placed them all over the place. And then I was like, I wonder if I can use those right here, right? And went in flawlessly. It was fabulous. So talk to me about, first of all, why?
Well, so the spiral stairs are again part of the Arena Pier mod, which as I've kind of alluded to, the whole function or the key function of the Arena Pier mod is for different or unusual build pieces, right? Things that are kind of newish. So something people again have talked about or complained about or I've thought about is that trying to make stairs can often take up a huge amount of space, especially if you like small buildings or small spaces. A stairway, if you have the typical, as you have here, kind of the two wall high floors, because no one likes having their head brushing against their ceiling. Mm-hmm. Then to make a stairway to go up there, either takes a huge long space along a wall, or you've got like a stair and then a platform and another stair up, and it takes up, like 3 or 4 squares, right, of space in your build. So again, talking to some of the folks on my admin team and listening to others, we talked about spiral stairs. So I decided to try them out. They are a real pain in the butt.
to mod.
Yeah. Mostly, I mean, Modeling them is a challenge. Getting the collision to actually maintain a 45-degree incline, so you can actually walk up it, is a pain on a spiral.
So tell me, how long do you think you spent putting these stairs together?
The first set of spiral stairs.
Yeah, yeah. We'll start with that, and then we'll move on from there.
Yeah, the first one was probably well over 10, maybe 15 hours. Trying, watching Google videos,
Right.
just trying to learn, like learning techniques in Blender. Right, I use Blender as my modeling tool.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to learn techniques in Blender for bending, wrapping, creating arrays, and then rotating the arrays. Right, so I get the stairs to look nice and smooth, rather than hand placing them. Right, which would be painful and they wouldn't be even.
Yeah. So you're using a couple of programs, right? You're using Blender, which is kind of a 3D digital art program, right? In basic terms.
In basic terms, yes.
And then what you do is you take that art, right, and then you construct a mesh in Epic, um, or the Unreal Engine, right, or the Dev Kit.
So I create the mesh in Blender. I actually create the collision box in Blender as well, and import both of them together into Unreal as a unit.
Oh, okay,
Um,
cool.
yep. I define my material zones, for lack of a better term. So that this is wood and that is metal and this is the stair, whatever. Define those in Blender so that I can attach materials and textures within Unreal.
Fabulous. And you have four different styles of these, correct?
There is like 8 different styles of these.
Eight?
There should be one for each of the base game. There should be sandstone, uh, stone brick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
That's why. So I was thinking there was four because I was looking just in kind of the Bosonian or different things. I
Oh,
didn't actually
yeah.
search for um, like stone brick spiral stairs. But I have the admin panel pulled up here. You guys can see there's everything you need. I mean, there's uh, so CW, that's counter
CW is clockwise.
clockwise, and then so we have clockwise, counterclockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it looks like 8 or 9 actually. Yep. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, let's move on. We've talked enough about spiral stairs. Even though honestly, with how beautiful they are, I could probably spend the whole video talking about them. But yeah, let's move on. Let's go to this tower here.
So this is actually this is one of my earlier inclusions in. It should be an arena pier. This is actually an asset that is within the dev kit. Just something that was never really deployed in game or never utilized by Funcom in game. So you may have seen this in my mod. You may have seen this in one or two other mods. It's something a lot of us in the modding community that make build sets and things went, that's a really nice piece.
Right.
And it's not in game, so we should use it. So we did.
And it is a placeable. This is one item that you set down all in one piece. It's
Correct.
not something you build piece by piece or anything like that.
Much like these huts.
Yes, exactly. So that takes us to there's two different style huts. There's this style here. And then there is this style over here as well. Now tell me, are you able to get these without being in the admin panel? Is this something that's craftable for, say, server players, or is this something that only admins can spawn in?
Great question. So because this is my server mod, we do not have them as craftable. What we did was we used Pippi, as almost every server that I've ever been on uses. So we have a thespian that you can buy them from. So
Okay.
it kind of helps us control not having, gigantic sprawling villages of huts.
Which is exactly what I wanted to do in this valley, and I restrained myself. But yes, that makes a ton of sense to have them kind of locked behind something by the admin because I mean they're easy. You just spawn them in and plop them down, guys, and it's just like that, just like that. Love it. Let me look at some of the stuff that's going on here in chat. High Overlord says, yeah, he's nuts. We love him. I think they're talking to you, although that could be something that people say about me. So I'm not sure. Ralph says, Horde Towers. Those are awesome. Mikor, welcome. Rick, you could be over here. You could be over there. Either one. Afternoon, kids. How's it going? And Ranger says, oh, Pippi? And yes, I mean, just because he didn't create the mod doesn't mean he doesn't use it, right? Void Unreal, welcome. Hi, everyone. I am a little bit late to the show. I think you probably know who Void is. Yes?
Yes. Void, that's coming out.
Yeah. And Green Ranger going crazy over there on Twitch with the gifted subs. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it. You are absolutely amazing. So let's get on to my simple yet functional little builds here. And we'll start with this one here. I've got the blue flags on it. And there are 3 different variations of the flags. Is that correct?
Yep. Those are, specifically, those are Norin. They originate really from Japan, so they're really for the Yamatai or for the Moriyama build set. Often used to block an entry. They help reduce breezes, keep warm air inside or keep the hot air outside, but still allow easy passage of usually in shops, right? So like shops will have them for customers, patrons to come in and out through.
Very cool. And I'm going to pin that right now. I didn't, I just built kind of as I saw stuff and thought it looked cool in certain areas, but I'm going to pin your comment about where your inspiration for that came from for just a moment. So let's go, let's talk about this guy right here. Master Artisan Table.
Sure. Again, my inspiration came from listening to many people comment about having all the DLCs that have craftables within the DLC. And then for each DLC you buy, if you want to craft stuff, you've got to have a standard artisan table, an Aquilonian artisan table, a Turanian artisan table, an Argosian artisan table. Takes up, your entire base is crafting is artisan tables.
Artisan tables, yep.
So again, with some help from the modding community. So credit where credit is due. I did not do this all by myself. I had help, and I love the modding community for their open and sharing nature. That we all learn stuff, and many of us are more than happy to share that knowledge among others, right? To elevate each other. So with a bit of help, I created this master artisan table, which will allow you to craft all the recipes available from all the DLCs. It was actually just updated a week or so ago, so that it should now also have Argosian recipes available on it.
Fabulous. We could test that. We could test it right now. I'll go into my feats. I'll go into my feats and I'll learn stuff. Get furniture maker going on. Oh, do I actually have to learn I probably have to learn that table too, don't I?
I think if you have the DLC, you should be good. You might need the table just to get the other recipes, yeah.
So there we go. We got Aquilonian in there. We got all the debaucheries of Dirketo stuff. We got Catan.
Maybe I gave away a spoiler. Maybe I didn't actually get the Argosian out yet.
Turanian looks like you gave away a future feature there, buddy. I like it.
So you're first.
What's that?
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Future feature with the Argos being available. Honestly, this is amazing, and this is something that I love about the Conan community. So I've been around the community for just about 2 years, really trying to get ingrained and meet new people and everything like that. And when I hear you tell me that this particular piece, and you've said it on other things here, but people said, "Hey, we've got this going on," right? The community said, "Hey, we've got this going on." You went to the drawing board and you said, "Okay, how do I handle this situation? What's a great way to handle this situation, or how can I come up with something to fix this for the community, right?" And then you sit down and you spend 15 hours coming up with your first set of spiral staircases. You take what is there, 8 artisan tables, taking up an entire. I mean, when we talk about building a base, right? You start to plan it out, and you're like, okay, I need room for my blacksmith's benches. I need room for my this, that, and the other. All of a sudden, you've got this enormous base, and all you've done is build it with working tables. So this is fabulous. Like, hands down, absolutely love this particular thing, and the story behind it just makes it even better.
It's actually one of the things that I love about modding is it's an opportunity to problem solve.
Absolutely, absolutely, couldn't agree with that more. So talk to me about this beautiful architecture here, and I don't mean the way that I put it together. I mean the way that you designed it.
Thank you. So, ironically, the Blasonian build set began its life as a 2x2 gate. Actually, the first building piece, not placeable, the first building piece I ever created was the arena pier, or what I call the arena pier, which again was conceived because Funcom came out with, I guess it was Blood and Sands, that had the arena building set.
Yes.
Had those beautiful vaulted roofs that among them had the corners that would drop down. So if you put 4 ceiling tiles around each other, that you'd have this nice dropping
Point.
vault
Right.
that suspended itself in midair unless you only made your ceilings 1 ceiling high, which no one does. And it was this big, obvious, ugly hole to me. So I made what I look at as, at this point, probably a very poor attempt to create a piece that would snap in a corner, because pillars only snap in the center of a tile, right? So you need to snap in a corner and go under that dropping vault. So I tried my best to match color and something that looked kind of thematic to the arena build set. Looking back, not so great, but people loved it. People thought it was a great idea that they too saw that ugly hole. So along with that, as I began to try to match stuff, I liked the Frontier set, which I used to build with a lot, and I wanted a 2x2 gate that would go with the Frontier set, because none of the base game stuff really matches it well, and even the 2x2s that I made didn't match it well. So I thought, let me make something that looks, kind of Nordic, kind of Pictish, something that's kind of like the Frontier set, but was my own style with this scroll work, but that would have a similar color tone. And so I released the 2x2 gate so I could have one on my Frontier, and everyone loved it. So after I built the initial Tier 1 Northern Timber, I decided to take the inspiration from that gate for most of the elements here, and use that as the inspiration for an entire build set.
That is very, very cool. What I do want to know about this, though, is how many hours did you spend looking for I don't want to call it a Celtic knot, a Nordic knot, I don't know, but the design that runs down the edges of this is absolutely beautiful. Is that something you designed, or did you find that?
We found it on basically an open source, royalty free site. I try super hard, right, to adhere to copyright and stuff like that as
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
career. Um, so and it is actually Celtic knotwork, and really the Bosonian. If you go by the lore, Bosonia is sort of the Hyborian equivalent to like Wales.
Uh-huh.
So again, right, the sort of the Celtic knotwork seemed to work fairly well with it, along with the wood tones. By this time in my building, I was starting to go out and get real world references for ideas. Like the bars on these windows came from some pictures I saw of some Welsh old buildings.
And you have these windows. Here's one thing that I want to point out to you guys is I did my best to use everything. However, I don't feel like I used everything. So you have specifically the frame or the windowed piece in multiple different styles. So if you like it with the bars, you can use it with the bars, but you also have it with an open window. Is that correct?
Correct. So the initial one was with bars, and very promptly after releasing them, I got the request, "Hey, could you make an open one of that? I don't want bars." So I did, and then I had the little triangle wall cap that goes in the rooftop pieces, and I made that solid. And someone said, "Hey, you know, could you put a window in that?" So of course I had to not only put a window in, but I had to put in a window that was barred and a window that was not barred, because
Uh-huh.
I knew that as soon as I put one out, someone would ask for the other.
So why not? Yeah, kill two birds
And
with one stone. Absolutely. We got some comments from chat here. We got Kai on Fire in the house. Hey, much love for the Northern Timber mod. I know Kai on Fire is a YouTuber that recently featured your mod on their channel. So they're here showing some love and some support for the amazing work that you do. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, did you want to say anything? Sorry.
Yeah, so thank you for your video and for your attention to my mods. It's been great to see folks interested in it, and a lot of the reactions to your videos and stuff. Um,
Fabulous.
it's encouraging. It makes it worthwhile.
Good. Glad to hear it. M-Band says Arena Pier mod is one of my faves. Simple and useful. Fabulous. All right. Let's get into, we could do a couple of builds here together, I think. So we can do this one here and this one here. Like I said, I tried to use everything, but I really wanted to kind of encapsulate the idea that came to my mind when I saw these pieces. And for those of you that are in chat, I've already shared this with Shupa, but when I start using this, I focus just on the mods. I don't get a whole lot of time with mods on a normal basis, but when I load these up, I draw inspiration from them. And what I was really inspired to do with this particular mod was to build a village. It just felt like something that made sense for kind of a settlement that's getting started and kind of getting ready to grow into the domination part of the game, right? Because it's survive, build, dominate, right? So we're in the building section and we'll be dominating soon. But that was the inspiration. So even though some of the pieces that I used are the same, like this with this over here, it really is just kind of to show the versatility of this mod being able to do the different buildings and kind of the inspiration that I gathered from it. So this is what tier?
Pardon me. This is Tier 1 Northern Timber. This was the first build set of the Northern Timber mod, obviously named. Again, the inspiration for this came from one of my admins, who often patrols in the north of our server. He often builds up there and was unhappy seeing all the Tier 1 sandstone builds dotting the forest and the frozen wastes. He felt they didn't look good, and that the only reason people really did them was because they wanted to just get something up really quick. And they were an eyesore because they were out of place. So once again, I tried to put on my thinking cap and come up with something that would look appropriate. in the north as T1.
Yeah, no, I think it looks very appropriate. I think it makes a lot of sense for this area, and I can't agree more that running up north, finding something that's sandstone, you know, while it's understandable, people are, you know, growing and building, it just looks out of place. You know, it just does. It doesn't look like something that goes in that area. And I absolutely love these roof pieces. Like, look at the detail in those there, chat. How much greens, and I mean, this is the way a roof would look if you grabbed a whole bunch of different things from this area and made a roof in that time period. This is exactly what I think it would look like.
Thank you.
So we got
spent a lot of time in that texture.
Yeah, do we want to go into how much time you spent on this texture?
No.
Okay. That one sounded loaded, so I figured I'd give you an out on that one. We've got Vomher here in the chat. He says, and of course, love to shoot. Kai says, looking forward to things you add in the future. Keep up the good work. And Bourbon in the house. How's it going, buddy? I used it to build Rohan, which is awesome. Mothi. Oh, Insane is saying too much time. Too much
Probably
time. Go ahead.
No, just she gets to watch me, you know, sitting here at 10, 11, 2, 3 in the morning.
I was going to say 10 or 11, dude. Come on, let's get realistic.
It's late at night. I get in the zone, start trying to solve a problem, and just go at it.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. And I asked earlier, for those of you that are here and want to know, Mrs. Shupa is involved enough in the mods, right? She makes sure you don't make any mistakes because of her, right?
That's right. No,
and if you do make mistakes, you didn't run it past her.
That's right. No, she's great. She gives me lots of support and encouragement, offers ideas or constructive criticisms.
That's fabulous. All right, so in this little tent down here is something I've seen before. Kind of. Or a version of it. So talk to me about this guy.
Yeah. So again, this comes from my Arena Pure mod, much like the blue tent and the red tent before, or like the Nordic watchtowers and huts. This is a base game asset that was available in the dev kit, but never utilized by Funcom. So once again, trying to solve problems. One, I like the aesthetic of it. I think it's a beautiful piece, and was a shame not to have it in game. But beyond that, it's a functional well at this point. So it serves the purpose of being a well. It's visually appealing. At this point, of course, it fits very nicely with the Yamatai or Moriyama build set for that Yamatai aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's small. If you haven't gotten the idea, I don't build mega fortresses. I like building small. When I first started playing this, I made these tiny little yurts that were like a 2-ring circle with a peaked top, and would pack everything. Literally, my entire base would be like packed in this little tiny yurt, and still be able to walk around and get to stuff. I think that's actually a lot of fun. Much more fun than building a gigantic base and having massive open unused space.
And you just touched on the beauty of the game, right? So Conan Exiles, the reason why we're here, the reason why we're talking about a mod, the reason why we get on and play is exactly what you just mentioned. Your ability to come on and play in the style that you like. So you like a little base. You like to pack everything in there. I like a huge base. I want room. I want 42 dancers in there and still be able to run around and everything like that. And that is one of the beautiful things just about Conan, is you can literally play it however you want.
I'm ashamed to say that not including my dev kit time, which doesn't get logged, I think Steam has me logged at something like 4,500 hours in coding. I have not played another game since early access.
That's epic, dude. Like that's epic, especially in the modding, because what I've seen a lot with modders is they usually start playing the game, they love the game, they go, oh, I want to make this, and so they start modding, and then they play the dev kit, right? Like they no longer play the game, they just play the dev kit. So to hear that you're both modder and player is really really cool.
Yeah, my playtime is definitely down, but that's between modding, owning and adminning a server, and then playing. So yeah, there's only so much time in the day, but I do still play and I enjoy playing, and I love the folks on my server. We have a great community. Several of them are here.
Fabulous. Does Peach's teacup mean anything to you?
Peach's teacup. That is probably my offspring.
All right. Well, they're in the chat. They say hello.
Oh yeah, yep.
Warrior J is here. He just called you a legend. And
High praise. Thank you, Warrior.
let's see. Insane. Question for Shoop. When will you make me the cloth walls of a samurai war camp?
Ah, yes. Another request I have that the Norin are actually kind of the beginning workings of is if you ever look back at classic samurai movies like Ron, Ariane Ron, the samurai would set up war camps out of the battlefield, and basically what they were these like tent pole frameworks with silk bolts of cloth, right, strung across them to create kind of a visual divide and a pavilion to give the commanding officers privacy, a place to plan and to sit and relax a bit out of the line of sight of their soldiers and ideally of the enemy.
So are you telling me that you are working on something like that in the future?
I'm telling you that I've begun investigating the possibility of making something like that.
Okay.
I don't think it will be a set. Like that's part of the question: is do I make something like a build set, or do I make something more like placeables, or do I go sort of as we'll see later, some of my snapping placeables, right? Something that is a placeable but that kind of interlocks with other things.
Right. So again, you heard it here first, guys. There's more coming. This is not everything that will be included in the mod. Say, I'm not even gonna put a time frame on it. Down the road, there'll be more stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take you over to this little building, and we were chatting about this earlier. Chat before we started the stream. I kind of like to bring the mod authors on, and let them see what I built. Right. This is time for them to see what I created with their mod. And this particular build, I did 3 times because I would do it and then I would find something else in the admin panel. I'd be like, oh, I should have done it with that. So then I'd redo it with that, and then I'd find something else and I'd go, oh, I could change it and do it this way. So there's actually a bit of story that I built behind this one, and it all comes from inspiration from the pieces in the mod. So like I said, I've got this little town that's just kind of growing, and the iron bars are really what did it. That's what set this whole build to have a story. But basically, this is in the middle of construction. So we've got like the scaffold over here. You can see just the bottom windows around this building have the bars. The other windows are still awaiting the bars to be placed. And then we have this ladder on this side that is giving the roofers access to the roof, and so that they can come up and finish the construction of this build. And like I said, I built it 3 times because I just kept on finding these amazing variations of building pieces in your mod. Um, and that's my little story about this particular tower. But I personally want to thank you for just the amount of thought and detail that you've put into all these different pieces. I absolutely love what you've done with it.
You're very welcome. It's fantastic to see pictures or watch videos like you or Kia or Firespark and see that people do see right the detail or the effort or the versatility. Right. I did what I could to build these things to mix and match to interwork as much as feasible. Um, I want people to have fun to build lovely things.
Fabulous. We've got some really cool stuff going on. We have a host from Funcom. Thank you so much for that. We've got a lot of follows. I'm sorry, guys, I can't keep up with all the follows right now. We have a raid with a party of 24 from As Mr. Escape. Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming over. Spinosaurus, the dinosaur is in the house. You are here just in time, girlfriend. We have not gotten to your amazing part yet, what you're going to want to be here for. And Green Ranger, thank you so much for all your support today. You're absolutely amazing, gifting all those subs. Appreciate it. So for those of you that are new coming on, we are looking at Northern Timber and all the other mods that Shupa has.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we need to list them all. Do we need to list them all again?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have Northern Timber, we have the Arena Pier, we have the
Treasures.
we have the one that we don't talk about,
Don't talk about.
and then we have the Asuri treasures as well. So we're looking at all 4 of those mods. We've already given away a little bit of what you're working on in the future. But let's talk about the past.
Yeah.
And when I say let's talk about the past, I'm talking about this this shrine right here.
So this is the altar of Erlik. Erlik actually is an ancient Turkic god from our world, but fits in very well with the Turanian mythos as basically comparable people in Hybora. We were as this is in the Shuri Treasures. Again, Abba team and I were trying to think of story ideas and things to do for server. We were just beginning a story based on some stuff from the Book of Skelos, which is an ancient book of sorcery and magic and dark stuff and whatnot. And so I conceived of this that we might. And unfortunately, we never got to it, so it never really came to full bloom. But I researched this god Erlik, and I was trying to create a religion that we would kind of have this cult trying to sort of bring forth Erlik, as sort of a destroyer of worlds, right? So one of, again, from the Turkic mythology, he was also known as the Yellow Hand of Death, which is what drove the primary inspiration, right, for this this centerpiece. Purple flames never hurt when you're talking about evil and destruction.
Uh-huh.
And so I put the altar together. I tried to think of what would we do for disciples if we let our players join, right, this cult of Erlik. So we through Pippi, we were going to give them. There's a hide emote, which lets you kind of crawl down into the ground and hide. It's what the whites use up by the Barrow King when they come out of the ground.
Ah.
So in that emote state, you're hidden underground barely, but you can actually still move. So you can actually, and again with the Turkic mythology of Erlik, his disciples could meld with the earth. So it was going to be a magic power. They could basically, sort of cast that emote, meld with the earth, and travel underground that way. And what was nice was it actually worked that if you encountered anything like a wall or foundation, you could not pass through it. So you couldn't sneak into someone's base that way. And if you took any damage from anything, an arrow, an animal, or what have you, it would break the emote and you'd basically pop out of the ground.
Now, I heard a lot of you coulds in there. And chat, we talked about this a little bit earlier before this all started, because when I set these up, I like to make sure that I know the story behind some of the stuff, or I know that a certain priest goes a different place or whatever. But this is something that you were working on development on, and you have since stopped. Is that correct?
That's correct. So yeah, for better or for worse, I got to the point I actually had a harvesting tool, which was Erlich's Reaper. I had a resource that it would harvest from the bodies of fallen humanoids, which was the Last Breath, which was the religious resource, as other religions would have. And I was trying to come up with things that disciples could do. So I had a corruption orb, which could be handy in PvP if you want to corrupt your enemies. The Earth Meld as an emote or as a magical power. They would have had access to a white pet, the undead white, because again, from Turkic mythology, the priests of Erlich had command over the dead. And there was also going to be an item similar to like a set antidote, actually more like a Heart of a Hero, which was the Breath of Erlich, which would be a low-powered Heart of the Hero that could be crafted at the altar, so that the followers of Erlich could basically cast off, right, the corruption. So you could fling corruption orbs all you wanted, right, and then chow down on the Breath of Erlich and cleanse yourself, basically, right?
Right.
Remove that from yourself. Unfortunately, we never got to that point on server, so we never ultimately pulled it out. The story itself took a different turn, and some things stalled, and ultimately our story came to a close, and we did a server wipe and carried on from there.
Okay, fair enough. So, any plan on revisiting it?
I may at some point. Like I said, a lot of the work is done. There's a few left, a few more things to do to make it really viable. But yeah, I may come back at some point. But that was all before I began in Northern Timber.
So I think in my personal opinion, and you can spend your time however you want, but God, you're good at building pieces, man. Like, keep after it. I don't think you let anything else take your time unless you find that you're super passionate about it. You've got an art style and a talent, and just keep after it here. So on this side, I've got the Piers all kind of set up, and I don't think we need to really talk about them too much. We kind of covered them earlier in the stream. Give me just the big overview picture of these pieces.
So we talked about them earlier. That really they're akin to pillars. They're a little smaller. They're designed to snap to a corner socket rather than the center of a tile. Again, a variety to match with all the different base game build sets. I made an attempt at an Aquilonian pier, trying to get a nice white marble. That was my second attempt at matching something to a Funcom DLC. And then I realized that while the piers were cool, they only allowed things that snapped to corners to connect to them. So I came up with this idea of what's called a corbel, which is, an actual architectural piece, which can stand on its own, but again, it snaps to a corner. But if you have piers stacked up, it can snap to a pier and allow you to connect a ceiling or wall or what have you, a normal edge-to-edge building piece, right, can snap to them.
Makes sense.
The metal one, and then I came up with a wooden one. And then because we found when we were building one of our bases for the admin city, if you will, we used a lot of the metal corbels back to back or front to front, if you will, which created this nice visual arch, but required twice as many pieces. So
right.
I made an iron arch And then, of course, because I had to, I made a wooden arch to match the wooden corbel. And then over here you have one of my two angle braces. I have this one, which is the standard one, and there's another one in the Arena Pier mod that's, I call it the tri-angle brace, which actually has two forks coming, two little beams coming out from it at angles. So what this is once again trying to solve an age-old problem. Funcom long ago introduced their support struts. They had an upright, straight up and down beam or post that connected to walls.
Yep.
And they had an angle brace that kind of stuck out from it and was supposed to give you an extra 20 stability when building out. So you could build 5 tiles from a wall rather than 4 if you use their struts. Funcom had problems with that, where if you built out and then server restarted, you would lose that 20 stability. And ultimately, they made those struts purely cosmetic. I've seen a number of mods try to do these. Classic challenge is what they call Stairway to Heaven, where I could snap one to the wall, one to this, and keep going infinitely. And then I could basically, go anywhere I wanted, everywhere I wanted. And that was kind of, to me, that was bad. So I came up with these. They do give 20 stability. They retain 20 stability after server restart. I needed one for square tiles, and then the triangle brace is for if you have triangles, right? So if you have a triangle at the wall here,
wedge pieces.
Support wedge pieces, right? Yep. So you need to support a pair of wedges coming off of it. So it's a slightly different socket setup.
Very cool.
It only snaps to the wall. It won't snap to itself. So you basically have to start from a wall.
Very cool.
So no more Stairway to Heaven.
So just in and of itself, chat, more versatility across your building, the abilities, the different things that you can do with these pieces. And that's going to lead me to this build over here. And look, if this looks good to you, it's because of the mod building pieces. It's not because of how I put it together. But I had a lot of fun with this one, and I built this one like 4 different times, because I build it and then I'd be like, oh, I need to do this instead. Or like with this one, I actually used all the shallow roof pieces. I didn't use any of the regular roof pieces. And I fell in love with it. So we're gonna move right over here into this one. We're gonna totally not even look at Wax little buddy and Shupa's little buddy right now. We're gonna get right into this build. So right off the bat, while I'm kind of floating around and showing this build off, talk to me about your inspiration, man.
Yep. So the Moriyama build set was probably one. It's definitely, if it doesn't show, it's a project of passion. I love Japan. I'm a big fan of the style and aesthetic. So this is basically a moon gate, what we just came through. A common structure, actually among several Oriental countries. The rounded door, obviously opening the moon, but even this little lip here, the idea is that when you come through the moon gate, you must consciously kind of step over this threshold, sort of acknowledging going from one place to another, basically, that you're entering this property. So even that lip, had some design elements behind it. I had a lot of fun with creating the round door rather than making square doors that just kind of hid inside the frame structure and pivoted as a normal one does. These I actually cosmetically obviously have hinges, but actually designed the door to pivot on those hinge points, as it would if these were actually architectural pieces. So with the Moriyama set, I actually began doing research. I have a reference sheet with pictures of walls and structures and houses. These stairs for Moriyama are actually I'd be curious. We'll give a moment here for any of the folks on the chat. If you've been to Japan or seen pictures of Japan or a fan of Japan, can you tell me where the inspiration for these stairs came from?
Oh man! All right, so there's the stairs right there, guys. And can you tell him where the inspiration came from? I'm gonna greet some people in chat real quick here. There is a lot going on. Green Ranger, again, thank you for your support. Appreciate it. Can we actually, if you are in the chat over on Twitch, can we get some hearts in the chat for Unique Goddess? She's not feeling so well, but she is here supporting and watching the stream anyway. So if we get some hearts in there for her, send some best wishes her way. Sven P, I scheduled the stream way early. It should be private. I don't know why it's showing unlisted, or not private. It should be public. But thank you for joining. Glad you could find it. I need to scroll back up here because now I've got hearts coming in. Let's see who else I missed. Jose, what's going on? He says, damn, that's a lot of hard work. It absolutely is. The Amazing Wes wants to RP some Yamatai based on your building stuff. That's absolutely amazing. And Insane told me that the moon gate is backwards. Look. I mean, okay, it's backwards. You're right. Ranger says, I've tried building Oriental themes builds and I can never able to give it justice. Just keep at it, man. Get some points of inspiration. Look at some pictures. Bomber says it looks gorgeous. Appreciate that. And I think we are caught up there. Thanks for the cheer there, Ranger. Appreciate it very much. Okay, so I don't see any answers to your question about the stairs. So let's leave it out there for just a few minutes, and let's move on to these amazing pieces of art that I'm looking at.
Sure. So these are Fusuma panels. They are sliding doors. They're generally used on the interiors of buildings as decorative as compared to a shoji, which is more often used exterior-wise. The nice thing about the Fusuma, and so part of what I did with the Moriyama building was in Japan, again, taking my inspirations from the actual place and architecture, is often, while buildings may not be large, they're very open, that you actually have these Fusuma so that you can place them or remove them as needed to create larger or smaller rooms, right? To create functionality, we need a small room for sleeping, we need a big room for entertaining, what have you. So often that requires open post and beam construction. So I created these Fusuma frames, which is the wooden structure around it. There's a 1x2 and a 1x1 standard wall size. And then the Fusuma themselves, which create a wall, can be removed. So you just pull them out, snap them in. Each of the panels is designed front and back so that when they snap in, you snap one to the left, one to the right, and they create a picture together.
Just like that, chat. Just like that. Look at how amazing that is. And you have multiple designs of these. I think I've got at least half of those inside here. So let's head inside.
Yep. So here is
this door, guys, is amazing. I'll let you do the honors.
Thank you. So this is the Moriyama shoji gate and doors. Unlike the Fusuma, this opens just from the center to the sides. It is a gate. There is one like it in the Arena Pier mod, which is what this is based on, but I've updated the textures and cleaned them up a bit.
All right. So we're going to start with something I haven't asked you about. Okay? And I want to know about this picture that's over here on the wall. That's where we're going to start.
Absolutely. So you have much love coming from Insane over there. So what this is there was an All Hallows contest held by Funcom, and Insane made an entry, and she won. So to commemorate that, I took a screenshot of her image, or I took a copy of her image. Funcom had these framed pictures that they've tossed up, and so I made a framed picture of her winning entry, and made it a permanent part of the Ashuri Treasures.
Now, see, I could have swore I had seen this picture somewhere, and now it all makes sense to me. That is an awesome story, and a fabulous screenshot. What an amazing build! Awesome.
And that was all her.
Yeah, you didn't help at all?
I did not.
Yeah, good.
I was very pleased. I thought it looked amazing.
Okay, so we got some things over here on the table.
Yep. So more recently, as I became more and more enamored with pursuing my Yamatai RP, my wife Insane also earlier in our lives studied tea, formally, Japanese tea. So I became familiar with some of the trappings and devices of the tea ceremony, and she asked, "Can you make this?" So I did. So on the left we have a tetsubishi, which is the iron tea kettle. We have a pair of kind of a greenish turquoise chawan or teacups. The little bamboo scoop, the little tiny straight line there, if you can barely see it, is a chashaku, which is a tea scoop. These little brush things that look kind of like shaving brushes are chasen. They're used for whisking the green tea, the matcha. And the black lacquered containers with the gold ginkgo leaves are natsume, which are lacquered containers for holding the matcha, the tea powder.
So it's funny you bring up that they look like a shaving tool, like it's for putting on shaving cream, because I couldn't figure out what they were for. I put them down, and I'm like, are they lights? No, they're not lights. I'm like, I have no idea. So the fact that you explained exactly what they're for in the real world not only brings me knowledge, but that's awesome to hear the inspiration behind it.
Yep. And then the tray itself is called a Yamamichiban, which basically, Yama being a mountain, much like Moriyama is a mountain village. The Yamamichiban is the lacquered tray, and if you look around the lip of it, it has rises and falls along the edge. Those represent the 5 great mountains of Japan.
Now, chat, I knew that, okay? But the reason why I knew that is because I read the tooltip for it. Because you actually have that information in there, don't you?
Yeah.
And that's how much detail is in these mods. Turn the music down. There should not be any music playing. Yeah, no music. Game sound? Is that what you meant? Turn the game sound down. All right, let's see what else we have going on in chat real quick. I have come to Sesame Street. Please turn the music down. Got that. This is really nice. That comes from Waffle Butter. Says this is really nice. Tyrannical Elmo says he's come to Sesame Street. Let's see what else we have. Green Ranger says you have amazing knowledge of Japanese culture.
A little bit of a fan. Just a little.
Just a little. That's good. Somebody said they needed to get this in their hotbar now, and there it is. Net Raven. Yes, I think you do need to get it in your hotbar. Math Teach says, great mod. And looks like we're pretty much caught up there. Somebody recommended that you go on one side of the door and I go on the other side of the door because there's some transparency.
Yes. The washi paper of the
Oh,
shoji is
yeah.
20% transparent, as paper should be. It transmits light, and if you're backlit, you should be able to see through it.
So
The-
I think the lighting that I have set up is probably not backlit enough to see you or me, um, because I've got the lights
we
right
have a lot
here.
of light here.
But um,
But
that's
yes,
cool.
the design
That's
is
a function.
well, you can kind of see, if you look, you can see through the paper, like on the right hander, you can see the lattice work
Mm-hmm.
when the door's open.
Yep.
See? Very slight translucency.
Very cool. So we've got some of your other door options in here, and I want to say there's a total of 5, correct?
There are. The left 3 are Fusimo panels, so it's just a very simple plain one. The white pine and the peacock. And then I have, technically these are, this one on the right here is a shoji door to go with the shoji door frame that these are all snapped into. And there is one of those that has paper in the lattice work, and there's one that has no paper in the lattice work.
Yep.
Because again, options.
And if we're talking about modding, we're talking about options, and we're talking about versatility, right? So you can use these in the frame and have them doubled. You can use them as single. I think that's really cool functionality for one building piece to have 2 different functions like that, and to have really 2 different styles, because when you do it double, you get the full picture. When you do it single, you get kind of half of the picture, and they're absolutely beautiful. What's exciting for me right now is what's behind these doors. So let's say we'll label them 1 through 4, left to right, and you get to pick which door to open. Or should we let chat? We'll let chat pick which door to open. Chat, 1 through 4, left to right, pick which door to open, go. While they're picking a door, talk to me about what's on the floor here.
Sure. So you can't have Japanese or Yamatai without tatami mats. So tatami mats are woven straw, usually with a decorative silk edge. Mine have to be plain but colored. I included 6 variations. God, what, black, blue, brown, green, purple, red, and white.
Now, I, of course, chose green because I like green. It's just my color. And, it's about customization, right?
It is. So they are placeable. So again, you can put them down, pick them up without destroying them. But if you're familiar with tatami, or have seen pictures of tatami, they're always placed very neatly, right? They fit together very well. And the real world don't quite snap, but effectively, right? They fit and join very nicely, and they're supposed to be in what are called auspicious arrangements. So ideally, you're joining edges to ends. So you have like T's, not usually long rows of tatami.
Right.
So I made these so that even though they're placeables, they snap to a floor or to a ceiling tile or to a foundation. They have 2 snap points each, so they can snap on an edge at the center of the tile, and therefore can kind of go around the inside of the square. So you can make them, left to right or front to back, if you will. And then there's also a single snap point on one of the corners, so that they can span across the edge of 2 foundation tiles or 2 ceiling tiles, so you can achieve that pattern of length and cross and length, etc.
Fabulous. So I'm not going to sit down and calculate what everybody said, but I'm pretty sure that 3s won it hand down. I mean, there were so many 3s, it's not even funny. So we're going to go with 3, but first, I want to read this comment from Net Raven, who says, how about futon mat beds, single and double versions with different colors?
There is already a single futon in the works.
Okay, there you go. There's one in the works, so keep your eyes peeled for an update.
And yes, it will be a working bed by the time it makes it in the game.
Okay, so should I do the honors, or do you want to do the honors? What?
Go ahead, because that way people can see. I don't know. Do you want me to go run up so you have a long shot?
I'll do it. I'll do it. Are you ready? Are you ready, chat? Are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Look at that right there. Look at that amazing piece of work right there. Tell me about this particular piece.
Yep, this is the major award for those of you who either are in the United States or who watch American Christmas movies. Comes from or is inspired by the movie A Christmas Story. It is the major award and actually has some commentary in the description taking references from the movie. This particular piece, again, was inspired from conversations between my wife, Insane, and Spinosaur, who I believe is actually somewhere here in chat.
Absolutely is.
Spinosaur was trying to conceive of a Christmassy event for Conan, and was trying to figure out how to use the leg lamp in like an event poster. And Insane mentioned this to me, so I immediately thought, well, heck, right? It's a leg lamp. There's a leg in game, right? There's a mesh that's a leg, which is actually used as a weapon, which is even better. So I grabbed the leg. I threw together a very quick and dirty lampshade in Blender. Yes, very quick and dirty. And then I took, if you look very carefully at the stand that it's sitting on, that is a very shrunk down version of the entryway to the dregs, made really small. And then there's a pin that goes up through the heel, which secures the leg to the base so it stands up and again looks structurally sound. Now this is a lamp that can be turned on and off. There is another variation of this particular mesh, which I don't know if you have, Whack.
A variation of the leg lamp?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here, if you don't know that, allow me to help.
All right. See? I need you here. While you're getting that, Spinosaurus of the Dinosaur says 10 out of 10 best mod of the year. Absolutely awesome. RJ Evil laugh out loud Christmas story. Oh my god, the lamp, says Green Ranger. Every server should have this mod, says Insane. Kai on fire, laugh out loud, nice leg lamp. Raikou, hello, welcome to the chat. You'll shoot your eye out, which is probably something I would do. Let's see, RJ Evil, you should make one that's all taped off, laugh out loud. Oh, that's awesome.
It is definitely a Conan leg lamp with the bloody leg and everything, but it wouldn't be Conan if you couldn't do this.
Oh my god, yeah, that's why I didn't know about it, is because I didn't look in weapons. But that is that's something else. Hold on. There's a light up there.
Yep, that's my handheld reading crystal.
That is awesome.
This actually glows. It does glow if you're in a dark area.
Speaking of a handheld radium crystal, we'll go ahead and get into that. Look at that right there, chat. I'll just juggle my crystal real quick. But that is that's awesome. So pull that back out one more time, because I want to say something. You said that you threw the lampshade together very quickly, and honestly, I got to tell you, I would not want you to have spent any more time on it, because I think it fits the movie like perfectly. Like you open it up, you see it, and you're transported to that moment in the movie right then and there. So good work, sir. Good work.
Thank you.
Let's see. We have math teacher here who says, not only is this mod amazing, but the feedback that the creator provides on Discord is amazing. Always helpful, direct, and just shows that he cares. just shows that his care for the mod, his care for the people who use it. So really good feedback for you there, sir. And I've
Thank you so
spent
much.
I've spent a little bit of time in your Discord, and I can always tell. I poke around in a lot of different Discords. I don't talk a whole lot. I kind of lurk in a lot of different Discords, and I can always tell when somebody is legit caring for their community or feels like it's work. And as I poked around in your Discord, I could definitely tell that you cared a lot about your people and the people that use your mod and your fans and everything like that. So appreciate that devotion from you, because I know it can be hard. It can be overwhelming and it can be difficult. So thank you.
You're all very welcome. I love seeing the stuff people build, or the joy and amusement that our mods bring to people.
Okay. So we need to move on. We need to come out here. And did anybody ever figure out where this stairs actually came from? I'm gonna go right over here to this glowing crystal that you have, and you actually taught me something about the glowing crystal. I don't know if you guys like, say, magenta, but
MAG.
somebody's gonna like it. So those are super cool, and I really like them because I feel like it's not overpowering, but at the same time, like, it adds just a nice little nuance of light.
Yeah, they were built to be brighter than a candle and dimmer than a torch.
Yeah, and they're out of the way. I mean, it actually looks like, like, probably most of you, when I ran over here, didn't even notice it until I walked right up on it. Kind of like this one here. It's there, it's giving light, but it's not something that's like super abrasive and in your face. So I really, really like these particular items, and the fact that you can dye them, which I learned late, but figured that we'd just show you guys as we were doing it. The magenta one for the ladies, and the guys, whatever.
And the guys.
Okay, so we have some pets out here. We'll go through my backwards doors to get to our pets. So this one's yours, this one's mine. We're not gonna fight them or anything. I just had fun naming them. But talk to me a little bit about dragons.
Sure. So once again, these all begun with something simpler, which was there was no frost dragon head trophy. So I had to figure that out. So I figured out how to take the dragon head and make it frost dragon colored. Eventually, on our server, we had players who were saying they needed things to do, something to take them on a long adventure. So again, because we're using Pippi, I created these dragon hatchlings, which on my server with the Shuri Treasures mod, when you kill a dragon and harvest it, you have a low % chance of getting a dragon's egg. You can then learn how to rear that into a dragon wormling, which is just an inventory item, and then ultimately put that in a pet pen and grow it into a dragon hatchling. There are red, green, and frost, and each of them have different attack combos.
And we're looking at some of those attack combos right now because I didn't get a chance to kill anything with it earlier. But this is really cool. Like, honestly, I want to throw a saddle on it and ride him around. I mean,
Yeah.
I really, really do. But
The concept is there. I don't have the knowledge yet.
yeah, no, I hear you. So, dragons, super cool. If you're on a server and able to use them or get them, they are there. Real quick, before we go to the next section, I want to show this off to chat because any of you builders out there know that when you are dealing with wood pieces, wood has grain, right? And sometimes it's hard to see that grain, but as you can see from the design here, you can see it's really easy to figure out which direction these pieces are going. And so, like, right there, I know that piece is the wrong way, I can quickly turn it. Same thing there, quickly turn it, right? Like, that is, to me, as a builder, one of the most important things you can do is have it where I don't necessarily have to think about what I'm doing. Like, I don't have to double check or strain to see that, hey, I've got all the slats facing the right direction. So I wanted to give you kudos for that while showing it off. The other thing that I noticed with your mod is you particularly do a really good job of changing the color for the inside to the outside. So chat, you can see that outer face is very, very orange. And then the interface is light. It's white, right? It's more opaque. So you can see the difference there. So that just makes it easy to visually see, oh, I don't have... Conan Exiles is teach me how to read outer face frontwards and backwards, and I don't see a difference between it when I'm reading it. So the change in color really makes a big difference, knowing that which way it's going to place. So that's just something personally that I noticed while using your build and your mods, and that was across all of them. But I noticed that really big difference in the colors for the interface and the outer face, and then I noticed that you exaggerated all the panels to where you could see which direction the wood was facing on each one. So I appreciate that.
It's a common grip and a pain that I feel like with floors. I'm one of those guys that I always try to, I get annoyed, right, when I've got my floors wrong, unless I intended to make them, checkerboard, what have you.
Right.
So one of the things I've tried to do with pretty much all of Northern Timber, I think, is my foundations and my ceiling tiles are constructed, right? They're actually made as if you were fabricating them, right? They have boards and planks and support cross beams.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, right? You can kind of crouch down and peek between them, although you cannot steal through them.
Well, that's good. Peaches says the destruction looks great. We'll don't stand there. Don't stand there, buddy.
There are some folks who use Radeon GPU, and apparently my mod causes them crashing when certain pieces are dismantled. Been trying to solve that one for a long time.
Well, personally, no issues with it. No issues at all. Okay, so we're gonna go somewhere else. Are you ready? Chat, are you ready for an adventure? Hopefully you are, because we're going on an adventure right now. Do you want me to pull you up here, or you remember where it's at?
Next year.
Oh, there you are. Perfect. Okay. So, like I said, I got inspired by these build pieces, and I really wanted to do a lot more than than I had done in other builds. And you've got just such a expansive amount of build pieces and different things that it's just kind of fun to use everything. So I did not want to use particularly the snow-covered roofs in an area where there was not snow. So I picked another area for those, and this just happened to be it. I feel like the Ice Spire Chasm doesn't get built on enough, so I decided to build on it. But let's start right here with your undead dragon, since you brought that up when we were talking about baby dragons.
So that was another thing that was, in my opinion, missing from game. Right, we had a red dragon trophy head, a green dragon trophy head. We're missing the frost dragon trophy head, and we're missing the undead trophy head. So it was an easy thing to think we need that. So I put it in.
Now, can you tell me why there's corruption on this head? I mean, like,
Yeah. The piece itself is not corrupting, but there is I added a large and a small corruption field generator, I guess for lack of a better term. Um, so there are two small placeables. One is a metal skull and one is a candle, and they generate a cloud of corruption. Again, we use them for that same story I was talking about with the Book of Skelos, where the cultists were using corruption for various nefarious purposes. So we needed some way to have corruption that we as the admins could control. So I created these generators. They were big and small, so we could manage depending upon the spaces that we had and what we needed.
and the small generator, guys, is the corrupted candle. The larger generator is the corrupted skull, and you can see I picked that up, and now you can see that a little bit better. I just needed an interesting way to show off the corruption abilities, and I felt like putting it there made sense. So as you guys are going to see, I used a lot of the same walls and gates and frames and different things in this build. However, we do have a frost dragon head, and we also have a baby frost dragon, right? So that both of those things are additions with your mod.
They are, and the frost dragon, frost dragon hatchling or small frost dragon is again something that you won't find in game outside of my mod.
It's super cute. It's super cute, and I want to take it home. Mom, can I take it home? All right, let's go up top here, and I just want to give a quick kind of overview of these building pieces, and then we're gonna wrap up actually, chat. So if you have anything that you want to share with Shupa, kind words, anything like that, feedback, if you have questions, now's your time. Let's get those rolling now, and we'll get to those while we show the rest of this little area off. But basically, I just used a variation of what we saw in the other areas, right? And the ceiling is really the only different, right? The roof pieces.
Right. Yep. The snowy variation.
And so it goes back to inspiration, chat, and like I didn't feel like I could build this in an area that was not snowing, and that's why this part of the build is somewhere else. I do think this area actually highlights really well a couple of things, though, or this build actually highlights a couple of things. First of all, these little crystal lamps go really, really well in this area. So that's something that you can think about using out here. The other thing is I never got into these pieces, the roof decoration, when we were looking at the other builds. And I know this is something that is very, very popular.
I've so the very first ones that I added to the game, I actually got from some free stuff from the Epic Store. I'm pretty sure I gave credit in the mod description. If I didn't, I need to go do that. It was the horse head and the ram head, little cross brace, and it was actually part of some other building, and I really had no need of the other meshes in that set, but I thought it was kind of a cool piece, and I thought it would look interesting, kind of scaled up and made to fit as again a snapping placeable for the Bostonian set. As soon as I released them, folks were all about them and loving them and wanted to see more. So I came up with this variation, which if you are paying close attention, these pieces right here at the top of it, not the beams, but these decorations at the top, are actually torn from the Nordheimer watchtower. Has these decorations on them sticking out from it. So I snagged those and married them up with some more cross beams and made the textures match and feel cohesive. And then someone actually asked me for a simple one. They said they didn't want all the gewgaws and carved wood. This one's something very simple, something very plain. So I did that as well. So there are 3 variations for the more Nordic themed ones, and then on the Moriyama there are 3 decoration pieces for the roof. There's what I refer to as a head, a center, and a tail. The head is generally for the end and kind of rises up. The center is just flat across, and the tail slopes down to meet the surface of the roof, so you can kind of have a nice visual close off.
And I think I used them all in all the builds, but I forgot about them. They stick out better on this build than they did on some of the other ones. But I can see a lot of people, first of all, liking this because it just adds another element. It adds another feel. It adds just that little bit of personality, right? Like we all kind of build with our own personality, but this lets us enjoy that more or exaggerate that more, whether that's the plain Jane or something more fancy and snazzy. Do have a couple of things that I want to get to in chat here. Where to go? Mike Roberts would like to know if you plan to do anything like Greek, anything Greek.
I think that's called Argos.
Fair enough. I like it. Tyrannical Elmo is planning on kidnapping you. I hope that's consensual and not against your will.
It's a common Tyrannical Elmo behavior. Yes.
Okay, awesome. And then Green Ranger again says, I can't say thank you enough for such an amazing mod and an amazing modder. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your hard work and dedication.
You're all very welcome. I am so pleased that everyone enjoys the mod. The only thing I can say is please, if you want to show thanks, join my Discord and share your screenshots. Let me see what you're doing with this stuff.
And actually, let me see. I actually have a message from Mr. Green Ranger over on Discord as well about your mod. It says, it's freaking fabulous. Seriously, it is. My favorite thing is its versatility with all of the pieces and being able to incorporate them into all of my builds. Northern Timber is where I started my adventure with mods. I've asked if he could add roof junctions and stone walls, and he did. Very amazing mod builder. So,
yep, that's the other thing too. If you're in my Discord, you can. I can't promise to deliver everything, but I try to review all those requests and see if it fits with what I'm building, if it fits with the ideas or concepts that I have, and can I execute it well. The last thing I do is execute poorly on something, right?
Absolutely. You need decoys to fool Elmo. Okay, there's something going on. So I think we've covered just about everything. Is there anything in your mind that we haven't gone over?
Actually, the only thing we haven't, which was the same thing that I showed to you just before this, if we can hop back, is the little shallow roofy bit.
Yeah, all right. We'll hop back. So first of all, I didn't know about this, chat. I was taught about this just before the stream started. And actually, real quick, so there is one of those pieces right there for you guys to see. It's like a horse and a ram on that one. And maybe the plain one is the only one I didn't end up using. Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. All right, so shallow roofi. Is that
Right.
is it roofi or roofuses?
Let's go with roofies.
Oh, chat. Watch out. Somebody is going to get kidnapped tonight.
So, after the initial release of Moriyama, I was doing my builds and realized that I needed a shallow rooftop. I may be working on the whole set of rooftop junctions, but man, those things are a pain, and shallow is even more math. But something that I've always found to be made me sad when trying to make a Yamatai or Japanese themed fence was you could put the rooftop on top of the fence, but it was always at the edge, so you had to build these really fat defensive walls. You couldn't just center it on a wall piece. So for the shallow rooftop, I solved that problem. It now snaps not only to the edges as a normal roof piece would, but will also snap along the center line on a wall.
Which you can see right there. Super awesome. And I probably would have built it a little bit different to incorporate that feature, but I didn't. So this time around, you know, we just kind of clipped it on so you guys could see at least the functionality of that. I don't know if I mentioned, I did build this entire roof out of the shallow roof pieces. I really enjoyed kind of the way that they looked and fit in there. So don't believe the bots, Jimbo. Sorry, buddy.
I'll let you know another secret. Is I just finished building my house on my server. Had one of our players come by and tour it, and it has areas like this all around the perimeter, right? These sort of awning kind of stuff. And I asked him, I said, how many awnings do you think I have in my build? And he told me probably like 8 or 10. And the correct answer was 0.
Yeah.
I was actually able to build it all with the Fusuma frames and half walls, and then just attach the shallow roof tiles all across the area, because it served my needs better and allows me to actually snap in Fusuma or Shoji if I want to do that to the exterior of my Genken or walkway.
And actually, now that you bring it up, I didn't realize with this particular build, because like I said, I built this 3 or 4 times. I didn't include any half walls in this except for these kind of slanted variations that we have.
Half walls.
Yeah, exactly. But I really like the idea of half walls, and as I was building this and rebuilding this and going through everything, I found some really cool ways to kind of change the variation of the walls inside and different things with the half walls. So there is half walls, and I'm going to show those in just here in the admin panel real quick. Building. So you can see there's this and this.
Actually, it's the 2 down at the bottom. The upper one is actually, I think, from the stable.
Yeah. No, it's just the bottom 2, the half wall lattice and the half wall plaster. Yeah. Is my mouse in a weird spot on the stream? We'll just bring him in, chat. We'll bring him in.
Yeah.
Got that. We got this. We got crazy stuff still going on stream. Ranger, thank you for the 100 bits. Appreciate you. Eric Sean in the house. Mama Nita lurking. Hello. How are you? Lurking is loving. Appreciate you. Let's see. We could just show these off right here, chat. So there's a half wall right there. Like, that's sweet. And then actually, these are half walls too, what I have out in front. So, you know, think about like how you could design your own walls, right? So you do it like that. You could do it like this. What I ended up actually doing was I had one. I'm gonna kind of demonstrate real quick here for you guys. So I had foundation like that, and then I had a wall, like say that wall, and we'll grab the other wall real quick. This one, which is a different design, right? Entirely. And this is where you guys can just lose yourself in building with this. So you have a wall, you have a half wall, you then decide that you want something to look a little bit different. So then you have the different wall, and then if you want to get back to the proper height for 3 walls, there you go. Right? So you have that ability to kind of really change the whole building style and process and make it your own. Again, customization, enormous amounts of building customization with this mod. And actually, we never got into it earlier, but this is all a very, very fresh update, correct?
The Moriyama, yes. Moriyama was released this like the 1st of May, I think. Early May.
Early May. So there you go, chat. If you haven't had a chance, definitely check it out for sure. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here, chat. I'm gonna take us over to kind of my ending screen for videos. This is your opportunity to really be the highlight of the stream. If there's something that I missed, if I missed your comment, please put it in the chat now. This is your opportunity to kind of get your questions answered or send some love to Shupa either way. Or some daggers. I mean, I don't know what you guys are into. So, you guys in the modding community, y'all are fun. The new awnings are amazing without the legs on the back. Will he be updating the other awnings of his like that? Yeah. That's a tough decision. And I think one, time is a factor. 2, the enjoyment from your community is a factor as well. So, weigh those things out. And look, new projects sometimes are the best thing. Sometimes it's not as much fun to revisit something in the past, So the beauty of it is it's your art. Let's see. Insane says, thank you for hosting, and thank you all for cheering Shupa on. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, sir, and the YouTube channel, and absolutely welcome anytime. So in the future, if we have more to show off, we will definitely do that again. Absolutely. Net Raven says, nicely done, mod. I think it's a great addition, and Funcom should just hire you. It's a good segue to a question for you, sir. You don't do this full time, do you? So where are your passions? Is this the road and the path to what you want to do in the future? Would you like to develop games?
My audio has cut out again.
Yep, gotcha. I think. Go ahead.
Test.
Okay, there you go.
We have a got my producer over here giving me hand signals. Yeah, so I mean, I've always loved animation and 3D and stuff like that. Basically, Blender, which has been around for God, I guess almost 20 years. I had always wanted to learn how to do that, and just never really got to it, or never could, or I'd pick it up, poke at it, and throw it back on the ground. This became an opportunity where I could have fun. I could have a direct effect on something that I enjoy, which is Conan, right? This game that I play with other people and friends, that I could have a direct impact and kind of, it's not quite game development, but it's making stuff for a game that I can directly enjoy, right? So it's become a great outlet to learn Blender and Substance Painter and other tools for doing this kind of stuff.
That makes sense. Sorry, chat, for the loss of audio. We've got that figured out now. To summarize the answer about the awnings and kind of additions to previous mods, you want to give just a quick summary of that answer?
I'll be brief. So the answer is I'm looking at it. I want to decide if and what I can move backwards, half walls or legless awnings, if I can do it well and if it makes sense for that build set.
Fabulous. Terrasite says, where are you building this? I'm not sure if you're asking about the actual in-game buildings or the mod. You talked about Blender as one of the programs that you use. My guess is the other would be the Conan Exiles dev kit and Unreal Engine. Do you use that as well?
I'm using the dev kit itself, not so much Unreal in its native form, but the dev kit, which is based on Unreal. And then I do my texturing in a mixture of Substance Painter, for which I must thank my fellow modder Ephraim, who gave me a marvelous gift. And then I also use GIMP.
Okay, fabulous. So hopefully that answers your question, Terrasite. I do want to go back up here to Peach's Teacup says, thank you for showing his mods off. They are really amazing, and we are all so proud. So that's some fabulous feedback there for you, buddy. Sounds like you have a fabulous family from what I'm reading.
I would have to agree. Thank you.
I think that's about it.
I think we're good. Thank you so much again. This has been a lot of fun. It's
Absolutely
cool to see what I do with my stuff.
Fabulous. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed building with it. We'll continue to build with it when I can, for sure. And like I said, love to have you on the channel in the future if that is something you're in need of or interested in. And yeah, so let's see. Chat, I have been terrible about this for my Twitch people. And I really need to get better. So I'm going to just peek. Okay, so I'm going to raid over on Twitch. So if you're on YouTube, we'll run through the normal stuff and the video will end. But if you're on Twitch, we're going to raid a buddy of mine. His name is Joviticus. He's actually playing Conan Exiles right now. So we're going to raid him. He's a great guy. He plays with a lot of mods. Really stand-up dude in the community. So That's what we're going to do. If you guys will stick around and hang out for that raid over on Twitch, that would be fabulous. You don't have to stay long if you don't want to. Just say hi, and if you like what you see, obviously throw them a follow. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today, for coming over and supporting Shupa and his mods and my channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. I'll catch you next time. Peace. Shout out to all my YouTube members. Y'all are absolute legends. Thank you to all my subscribers for your continued support, likes, comments, and general awesomeness. If you're not subscribed, you can start your free trial today and cancel at any time. Clicking the bell is highly recommended so you don't miss out on my next upload. There's a couple of videos on the screen. You can follow me over there to continue the conversation.